If you like this podcast, then consider checking out the other great podcasts at metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com.
Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we're back with I'm back with a normal episode. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the lore stuff going on with the Academy that Ben's rocking out there. I hope to join him again in a couple weeks. Once I get back from vacation, let's see, Colin was on the last one. I think Kathleen's on the next one, possibly. Possibly. Off the top of my head. Anyway, vegan warrior character. Doing Winterhold and such. I went through the mage's quest lines first. But anyway, where I'd kind of left off, I think I was about halfway through the mage's quest. I was using Anissa's cabin as a home base because it has the enchanting table, it has the whatchamacallit, the alchemy table. Yeah, there you go. And some storage in the basement and such. So it works out. It's a good little place, good little first house. I killed her and then took her house, so that worked out good. Yeah, I'm still killing hunters, so that's going on. Using the bow a bit. I obviously am only using bows and arrows, as I said previously, because there's no leather in them. So what I did was I was like, oh, you know what? I want to get that. First I said, I want to get the transmute spell because I can smith jewelry and get my smithing up really fast. Because with just smithing arrows and bows, it's a little tougher. So, need more material, and I can only make iron right now. Whereas the jewelry really can, boost you up pretty quick if you're making like jeweled rings, diamond rings, etc., etc., etc. So, I was like, oh, let me go. There's that place. It's like just west of Whiterun. I know where it's at. I'll head there. So, I went. Anissa's cabin is south of. It's almost directly due south of Whiterun, actually, which I still haven't entered yet. I don't think I'm going to enter that this time, which is unusual since I've never done that before, so it's fun. Yeah, so that's like directly due south of Whiterun, but over the mountains, on the other side of the mountains by the lake. So I went around the mountain and into the kind of open area west of Whiterun. And I'm like, I know where that cave's at. I'll hit that up. And I thought I found it, and I ended up at Swindler's Den, which is not it. I was like, damn. Because once I got in, I knew it wasn't it, because I know what it looks like. It has all the mammoth crap everywhere, the one I was looking for. So I went through Swindler's Den anyway. And it's just a bandit cave, and it's also the cave where... when those Red Guard, they're looking for a Red Guard woman in Whiterun. That's kind of where you meet up with them. So that's part of that quest. So anyway, I cleared out Swindler's Den. And then I realized it was Halted Stream that I wanted. Which is northwest of where I want it to be. Or it was northwest of Whiterun, I should say. So I get over there. I picked up Frenzy. I picked up Pacify. I don't think I had Pacify at this point. I still have Calm. I really needed Calm for these guys. I think I'm like a level 40 now. 30 or 40? Shit, I forget. Anyway, at this point, I was probably mid-20s. So I was using some Calm, some Frenzy. So from afar, up the path, I hit there's that guy hanging out smithing under that little hut in the middle of Halted Stream Camp. Hit him with some Frenzy. They all start battling each other. Threw some more Frenzy out there, so they were all fired up, killing each other. And then there was one person left, and I think I sniped him with an arrow. I was using a basic bow at that point. What did I have? Probably had like an Imperial bow at that point with just Soul Trap on it. It's hard getting enchantments when you're not using axes / swords, etc., etc., etc. Only enchantments I'm getting are off jewelry and bows. And I did think I found a loophole later on that I'll mention. But, so I get into Halted Stream Camp, go down, take care of the guy right outside of the locked gate. I think I just shot him with a couple arrows. Probably needed 2 or so. And then went downstairs, and that's where they're like cutting up the mammoths. And there's a bandit chief and a couple other bandits. So I hit the chief with the frenzy, and then he kills the other bandits. And he's taken down a little bit. So then I hit him with a few arrows before he got up to me. What I was doing was break out the bow, hit him with an arrow from far enough away, then hit him with calm, and then he'd go back to standing there, and then I'd hit him with an arrow again. So that worked out nicely. And I got my transmute and rocked out some gold ingots. So get the transmute early on. Well worth it to build up your smithing as well as build up your money. And, because you can find iron ore all over the place. So it was definitely well worth it. And then after that, I decided I'm using the bow. Let me head over to Fort A Mall and get that bound bow. So I worked my way over there. I've been stopping and doing some of the dragon areas, the dragon walls that are around. Obviously, there's no dragons at them since I haven't started this. But I have the Croesus mask and Morokai, something like that. I think I have those 2 that I've been going back and forth on. One gives you plus 20 on, I think it's alchemy, archery, and something else. And the other one's like 100% magicka regen. So I've been using those 2 masks, and I've been going to all the word walls that I find, even though I'm not going to use them. But there's some decent stuff there. And usually just decent battle to go on there. Anyway, so I made my way over to Fort A Mall. That is where the bound bow is held. And basically, I snuck around outside a bit, had to lure some of the mages out, take care of them kind of one by one-ish, using the Flame Atronak quite a bit, using that conjuration. I had a bound sword for a while. It wasn't... Since I'm wearing robes, it really wasn't working. It was working, but not optimal, to say the least. So, a lot of destruction, illusion. Illusion I'm killing right now. I'm just, putting everything I can into illusion. Fantastic. Plus, with having to save the animals and not kill the animals, I have to calm them every time I run into them. So, it's quite an adventure at times, as I will get into in a few minutes. But, so I killed the outside guys at Fort A Mall, and then you go into that one. I forget. I don't think it's it might be the prison you got to enter where the bound bow is at. I forget which section the bound bow is at. I think it's the prison area. But so you go in there. There's 2 mages in the room, one behind the table, one over to the left. So what I did was I shot the one shot at him with my bow, and then calmed the other. So I was able to just then walk over, get the bound bow out of the bucket, and voila, I got my bound bow. So I've been using that quite a bit. And I have enough on my conjuration. I put in the conjuration to get the soul trap right on bound weapons. So that was that. And then I kind of went back to my the mage quest. So next up, I was on the mage side of it. I think I was where I had to find out about the staff of Magnus. Well, I'll start from there anyway. So I talked to the Augur of Dunlane already and all that stuff. And then I find out from Mirabelle about Mazulft, Dwarven Ruins, or Dwemer Ruins. So I head out there and had a hell of a time going through there. Because there is a mix of Falmer, Charos, And I don't think there was any Charos hunters in there, just Charos. So there was this one section, the narrow pathways, like in those Dwemer places, the narrow caves underneath of them and all. So I calm the Charos and then go into the next section, like it's kind of like a quick left and quick right. And there's a Falmer and then a Charos behind him. So I got the one behind me calmed, and then I'm trying to attack the Falmer, but then the other Charos comes and I got to kind of calm that one. It took me a while to get this one down. It was not easy. I did have Muffle at this point, so I was using Muffle. I'm wearing foot wraps and just black robes because they seem to be vegan friendly for my vegan warrior here. No gloves or anything. My ring and necklace enchantments aren't that great, whatever they are, and I'm wearing a mask. I think I was probably wearing the Croesus mask at that point. But it took me a while to get the timing down of this one because I had the one crawling up my butt and the other one attacking me from the front. Very dangerous, and I couldn't hurt the Charos, even though I guess technically they're monsters. But I'm counting them as animals, so I saved them and then killed the Falmer. I guess you could argue that I really shouldn't be killing the Falmer. Anyway, my guy's a Dark Elf, so it doesn't really matter. So I get through there, and then you get to the Oculari, whatever they call it. You're going through, you find, there's a bunch of Synod researchers, and you find, you'll see them laying dead on the ground. They've been killed on the way. And finally, you get to the Oculari, and there's maybe 5 or 6 of them in this big room. First, you have to sneak off. For those of you who haven't played it and you don't want to know, don't listen. But when you get into this big room, and there's like a double entrance. There's an entrance to the right, a wall in the center, an entrance to the left that goes to the same place. And there's like 6 or 7 Falmer in there, varying levels. You have to actually, you want to go to the left, but you actually have to go to the right first to get the key to be able to go to the left. So, having already known that, I did that first instead of wasting my time going the other way. A lot of calm spells and then killing people. Bow action, flame atronac, calm them, hit them with some bow, rinse, repeat. So you get in. You enter the door in the Oculari, and you meet, what is this fellow's name? Paradis. He is the last of the Synod alive in there. He might be a little, I don't know, unstable? Possibly? So you go in there, you got an Oculari, you have an Oculari obviously in there, kind of like the one you read the Elder Scroll on in the Dragon Quest. And it shows you a map and all that. And he's like, he doesn't see anything. He's like, blah, blah, blah. And he thinks you're lying. And he's going to head back to the Imperial City and tell on you, because he's not happy. Not happy at all. So then you got to head back and let Savos know and all that. And yada, yada, yada. And, you're starting to realize that Arcano is probably involved. So, I continue on, and we had to do containment, obviously, was the next part of it. You see the battle between Arcano and Savos, and then, there's this giant flash, and everybody's kind of scattered everywhere, and Savos is dead, and you're like, yo, I gotta go to Labyrinthian and get this staff. And Mirabelle's like, all right, you go do that. I'll hold down the fort here. So you get over, I went to Labyrinthian, and outside of Labyrinthian is a bunch of trolls. Calm the trolls, headed in. Inside Labyrinthian is ghosts. They meet you outside, actually. It's a bunch of mage ghosts. And you're like, hey, guys. They're not really talking to you, though. Savos is there. He's got 5 companions. They talk as you go through and kind of tell you the story of what's going on. Yeah, there's what's Equilibrium is the spell tome in there. That doesn't seem helpful. It like drains your health to give you magicka. I'm like, I don't have that much health. It's not really gonna. I took it, but not really gonna help me. As you're going through there, a bunch of Falmer, and there's like the creepy voice from Morike. It's like it sucks your magicka right down. You get to this weird door, and it's a frost spirit, so you got to hit him with flames, and then a little later on, you get the one, and it's a flame spirit, and you got to hit him with, obviously, with some kind of ice. I think I had ice spears or ice spikes already, so I just hit him like that. So as you get further into Labyrinthian, or actually, I forgot Skeletal Dragon. Yes, early on, you got to battle the Skeletal Dragon. I forgot that's the first room. How could I forget the Skeletal Dragon? I was able to take out all the skeletons with the Skeletal Dragon with my bow because they were just one shots. The dragon itself, I was able to like duck and hide behind some pillars because if he'd gotten me one time, I would have been dead. So I was shooting him with arrows. I also used the flame atronach to distract him, and a lot of sneaking and hiding behind the big columns in that room. So that was quite helpful. So you get through, and then later on, as you get further on into Labyrinthian, you start seeing the spectral enemies, I guess it is. And they have spectral swords, bows, and others. And I think I like a warhammer or something. And I figure they're not real. They're spectral. I can take those. So I was able to take those and unenchant those because there's nothing involved in making them. They're ghosts. So, hey, worked out good. So I took those. So they gave me some, steel health, steel magicka, steel stamina. I think that's what those enchantments were. Drain it, take it, whatever you want to call it. Drain spell. That's what drain spell bow is what it's called. So anyway, you go in, you do the final battle, you get the mask and the staff of Magnus, Morike's mask and the staff of Magnus, and you got to head back to the college, obviously. And when you get back there, you see that. Oops, sorry, I was losing track of thought for a second. You head back to the college, and then some stuff happens. There's a barrier up. You're like, all right, you got to use the staff to break the barrier. Get inside, and you got to confront Arcano. I had completely forgotten about when the eye is open. I don't think you can harm Arcano. So you have to keep, every time he reopens it, you have to close it real quick and you have to close it with the staff because your attacks on him do nothing. So I wasted a whole charge of the staff just keeping the eye shut but not attacking him. And then I remembered, I should shut it, attack him, then shut it again if he opens it. And that's when, it all worked out. There were some magic anomalies around, so I threw out some flame atronach just to keep them busy so they didn't attack me. And eventually got him, and then, Quaranir from the Citric Order visits you again, and you become Archmage. And I took over the Archmage's quarters, and I moved my stuff from Anissa's over to there. Did not take the robes, however, because, I took them, I just dropped them, because they seem to have some kind of leather on them, so I cannot use them with this current character. So that's kind of where I was with that. So after I finished that up, I was like, my goal was to head out west because I'm going to take on the Forsworn because I don't like them. So I was like, yep, they're bad. They're always wearing deer heads and weird shit like that. They kind of look like they're from True Detective or something. So they need to be stopped, obviously. So I'm like Russell Cole heading out there, take it on the Forsworn. So I get over there. I was able to stop the murder before it happens in the market. And the guy made a note. I forget his name, off Etris or something, whatever his name is. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you there. And I was like, maybe I won't. I was just wandering around town, and I came upon Nepo's house. I'm like, oh, it's Nepo's house. You know what? I'll just go in here. I'll just take that stuff from him that I need, like 5 steps down the road on this quest. So I went in, I pickpocketed the journal out of Nepo's, and then I walked out the door, and they all started attacking me, and I had to get the hell out of Markarth quickly. So I don't know if I screwed up that quest by taking the journal so early or not, but I took it anyway. I may have to kill all Nepo's people so they don't keep attacking me every time I go into Markarth, but I hightailed it out of Markarth, and instead of continuing on with that quest, I went out and killed random Forsworn about the land. So I went to Blind Cliff Cave, which is right around the corner, and wiped them out. That's kind of a smaller one, but headed up to Deepwood Redoubt, and that is an awesome. I always like that one. Because you go in, it's just the small area first. Then you head into Deepwood Vale, which is pretty cool, wide open. And then you still have to go in. There's a third area, Hag's End, which also pretty cool. That's where you go in. You enter that area, and the hag is in the first room with a couple witches. Once you get it down, you hit it up some. It disappears, moves to the next room, disappears, moves to the next room. Then at the end, it's up top. But Deepwood Vale was pretty cool. Used the frenzy a lot there. Had the Forsworn all whack each other out. Then I took on the Briarheart by myself. I had invisibility by then. After I finished with the Staff of Magnus stuff and the eye and all that jazz, bought me some invisibility and pacify, and higher level comm spell basically, and started rocking that out. So what I would do is drop a little. I think I dropped a lightning rune on the ground. Went invisible. He ran over it. Hit him with some arrows. Went invisible. Let him settle down. Hit him with some arrows. Dropped a little lightning rune. And did that a few times and eventually killed him. But the Briarheart took a bit. That was a bit of a battle. A lot of sneaking involved. Then at the end, when I got to the end of Hag's End, I hit the Hag Raven, but then she had ice. I forget what are they, ice wraiths. I think she conjured some of them, and they kicked my ass a few times, and so I had to figure a different way of doing that. So what I think I threw out an Atronak first, and then starting attacking her. So that kind of took up the time of the ice wraiths, and then I just jumped off the side instead of going back through the inside. It's easier. So that was kind of where I left off. It's kind of what I've been doing. I'm still going on with the vegan character. Just going to continue on with that. Probably go through the Forsworn stuff. Not sure when I'm going to get bored of it. Possibly after I get back from vacation. Thinking about doing an Oblivion run again. And actually going a little further into that. Maybe I'll just pick up my character where he's at. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I played it. But that's kind of where I'm sitting now. There'll be a new Skyrim Academy coming out. I believe I'm going to try and do it next Wednesday. Drop it next Wednesday. They're recording this weekend. And there will be a community show next week with the people who sent in feedback, which I'd like to thank them for. I think right now it's Blake, Andrew, and Victor. So anybody else wants to send anything for that, please feel free to. I won't be doing that until later next week, so you got some time. So if you have anything you want to send it in, please. SkyrimHackPodcast@gmail.com. We recorded a chatterbox last night. Check that out. There was some interesting events on there. That was a very interesting episode of Chatterbox. Episode 41 should be coming out today. Otherwise, check out these shows over at Metal Shark that I am uninvolved in, obviously. Not on, I mean. Check out Earwash. They had the episode with Dale, which was awesome. And he brought back the flap right after that. And there was a couple max levels out this week. One of the short ones. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the short ones. Play This Game, I think it's called, something like that. And a regular max level with a nice long interview. So check that out. Anyway, hit if you want to go to podcast, not the podcast group, the Facebook group, you can go over there. And otherwise, I'll probably do this again in a couple weeks once I get back from San Diego. If you're going to be in San Diego and you want to meet up, shoot an email to the podcast. We'll figure it out. I already semi-talked to Juan and Sherry about it, so I will definitely get with them and finalize that stuff. I think that's all I got. I believe that's all I got. I know that's all I got. Oh, you know what I don't got? I don't got GarageBand up on the top window, so I can't stop anything. And check out My Fireprints on Etsy. Etsy.com/MyFireprints. MaiaFireprints. All right, I'm off my game today. I'm like in the middle of packing while doing this. So let me get the hell out of here. Goodbye, everyone.
Metal Shark Studio.